Hey, welcome back to Ping Pong Flicks. My name is Chris Wong. Episode 8, Star Wars The Last Jedi, has been unleashed into theaters, and there are a lot of different fans and the audience who does not like it. But most of the people, I think, like it because the box office number is the true indicator for how much people are going to theaters to watch it. Of course, the second week drop off would be indication if anybody went back to see it, but we'll soon find that out next weekend. But this is not what I'm here to talk about. Star Wars Last Jedi. I am going to talk about some points of Star Wars The Last Jedi. Yes, some things that I wish had happened maybe would have been better, but not necessarily that means anything because the movie is out. I'm not a director, I'm not anything, and anybody else can't change what the matter is that Star Wars Last Jedi is out. That's the story. That's the movie you see on screen. So I was going to do a whole video on what should have happened, but I'll just leave a little bit of summary of what I think should have happened. For one, Finn and Rose, I wish they were just spies on top for that ship, and they met Captain Phasma earlier on. They get captured. They have that interaction with Finn and Captain Phasma, and then it would have been more impactful when it gets to the end when he finally kills her. I think that kind of would have been better if Finn and Rose didn't go to some off planet, but actually she was like the code breaker or something, and he knew about the ship. He knew about how to disguise himself as the First Order, and both go into that ship and become spies throughout most of the movie without having to go to another ship. Also, the Admiral Holden, I think that's what her name was. Totally unnecessary. It could have been either Leia, because we know that Carrie Fisher is gone. We know it's going to be hard to get Carrie Fisher to CG her, or maybe there were some scenes that cut out to put in episode 9. I don't know. But it may have been better for Off to be sent off in here. So I could see her actually sacrificing herself by being the person who actually does the hyperdrive and hyperdrive warp speed that ship into the First Order ship and sacrifices herself for her life. But you know what? I mean, there could be other ways to do that too. I mean, Poe could have done that as well, since he loves to kill himself or try to kill himself. He could have done what Finn was going to do at the end of the film. He could have been the one to try to ram himself into that Death Star type beam thing, even though it wasn't shooting green, but he could have been the one doing that and off himself as well. That could have been also be thing. So that's the thing about risk, is it doesn't really take too much risks in this movie. It does some things to talk about characters. It does try to deter you away from them, try to make you want to feel for the new characters and try to say goodbye to the old characters. I mean, even Admiral Akbar didn't get his moment. Admiral Akbar doing the hyperdrive, that would have been cool as well, instead of Admiral Holden, just an admiral they introduced in this movie just to kill her off maybe about an hour later. I think it should have been Admiral Akbar, but whatever. It's all gone. It's all said and done. There could have been so much more. Rey could have turned evil. Kylo Ren and Rey could have been together. Luke could take on some Force users to be his Padawans to fight against the new duel, or things like that. I don't know. Luke could have been evil when Kylo and Rey could have turned good. I don't know. There is so much ways possible it could go. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. This is the movie that's out in theaters. This is what wishful thinking. All gone. You know, I'm willing to accept that. I am accepting that. There's no choice but to accept that. So let's move on from here. What is going to happen in episode 9? JJ Abrams made episode 7. He put it together. He wrote it. He helped write and everything. And Rian Johnson came onto the set to learn from him on how to direct a Star Wars film. They took notes, they transferred notes about the characters, where to go. But how much was that translated to Rian Johnson's episode 8? Did JJ Abrams actually had a vision for Snoke? Did he actually have a vision for Rey's lineage? Did he have any of that? Or was he on the same page as Rian Johnson? This is what episode 9 could be if we want to follow the path of Rian Johnson's. The Rian Johnson's episode 8 is a movie full of statements. The statement is the Force is all around us. Everyone has a Force. You don't have to be a special person. You don't have to be a Jedi to use the Force. Anybody can have the Force. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if there's light, even dark. Rey, who is drawn towards the dark, doesn't ultimately become dark. Kylo Ren, who is supposed to be dark after killing Han Solo, he still does not turn totally dark, as he doesn't want to kill his mother in that pivotal moment. He doesn't go there. And then at towards the final, before the climax battle, when Kylo and Rey work together after Kylo kills Snoke, the ultimate darkness, he tells Rey, "Let's go. Let's just go. Let's leave the Resistance. Let's everything. Let's go out in the galaxy and rule the world together. Rule the galaxy together. You and me. That's it. No dark, no Sith, no Jedi, nothing like that." So that just means that he doesn't believe in that. And well, the statement is this. Even when the smuggler talks to Finn about war, the statement is this. Light, dark doesn't matter. You just have everybody has Force users. Everybody can be a Force, and it's what you do with that matters. What do you do with that Force powers? You either use it for harm or you use it for good. Doesn't mean you're actually dark. Doesn't mean you're actually light. He broke down that Jedi power. He broke down that Star Wars Force powers. He broke it down to those simplest, humane, human, ordinary acts. Our own feelings can change the balance of the Force. Our own feelings. It doesn't matter if you're innately. There's no light and dark. They're all gray. It's all gray. Even the war. Resistance, Empire, like the smuggler said, doesn't matter. Resistance buy our weapons. Empire buys our weapons. It's just two different sides of the coin. It's just two different sides fighting each other, and they're all, it doesn't matter. If the Resistance wins, they could be the Empire one day. If the Empire loses, they could be Resistance one day. It really doesn't matter. War will never end. There's always warring factions, and it's depend on which side you go to, or would you care, or just get out of it altogether. He's pretty much convincing Finn, get out of this. Get out of this war. It doesn't benefit you at all choosing any side. So I think that's the statement here. I think that's the basics of the statement here, is that it shouldn't matter. So if Rian Johnson wants to continue this type of vision, and if JJ Abrams actually sat down with him and with Kathleen Kennedy and they all approved on this, then you could probably see more of it. Because where do you go from here after there is no Snoke? Who is the protagonist? Who is the antagonist? As we already revealed, there is no real protagonist, antagonist. There's just conflicted people. At the end of the day, it's like what Rose said. It's not who you try to. It's not fighting who you hate. I think I'm ad-libbing this, but it's something about it's not fighting who you hate, but it's the saving the ones you love. So if that's the message, it's about love that transcends all. It's kind of like Wonder Woman in a way. Love transcends all, even though she kills the bad guy. But love that transcends all. Then what it may come down to. Okay, and I'm being hyperbolic here, but it may come down to Kylo Ren and Rey get together and go. They're just gonna go. It's gonna be up to the point where Rey's just like, let's just go. Let's just go. Let's get out. War is an end. His mom dies and everything, and let's just go. And that way, they can transfer out of the universe to another galaxy in which Rian Johnson wants to play with these same characters and another galaxy. It makes sense that he wants to go outside the galaxy, but utilizing the same characters. It's gone. There you go. There you go. Kylo and Rey. Reylo. Hashtag Reylo. Okay. It's like hashtag Clovis. Hashtag Spaylive from Pretty Little Liars. It's that type of thing, and it's getting. There's quite a lot of people on Twitter who is hashtagging Reylo here. A lot of fan art. Kylo and Rey together. Yeah. It's more so now. But I'm that's may or may not happen, because I'm thinking if Rian Johnson is going out of his way to just trying to squash what usually will happen in terms of Star Wars movies, good versus evil, so it is to our expectation right now that Rey will fight Kylo and end him. But if the meaning of Rose, what Rose says, is not the people it's not fighting the people you hate, but the saving people you love, does that mean that Rey will try to save the Kylo that she loved? I guess you can kind of see they were having some kind of romantic tension between that weird psychic bridge. So was she trying to save him? Although it kind of complicates the matters, because at the end of the movie it seemed like Poe and Rey were kind of connecting in a way, just locking their eyes for a minute, and it just felt like that was a moment there. I don't know if that's going to happen, maybe or maybe not, but it seems to be that our expectations will be changed again if JJ Abrams actually sat down with Rian Johnson and pulled this thing together, because it really does seem like JJ Abrams had a different plan. He had a plan like this, and Rian Johnson says, okay, show me how to direct a Star Wars movie. All right, but I don't like that story, so this is my story. I'll take your Snoke, I'll kill him, I'll take your Rey's parents, I'll make them junkers, and I'll take your hope for a big Luke thing to be a part of this universe. I'll kill him too. And so it's like he's looking at each other and they're having two different stories on what it should have been. It just feels like it. It feels like something was set up and it's totally demolished to tell another type of story, to make another type of statement. So there's one way where JJ Abrams could come in and say, hey, you know what? I liked what I was doing, and I'm sorry you didn't, but I'm going to look at what you've done so far, and I'm going to try to fix it to get more along to what I was doing, making more of a fairy tale type of Star Wars movie, as opposed to your bringing mythic characters down to the ordinary, grounding Star Wars into a more realistic approach in terms of characters, conflicts, and having everybody's emotions. Everything is gray, not white and black, as opposed to fairy tale versions. So I could take that and turn that back into fairy tale, or I can utilize what Rian Johnson has done, and I agree to what he's done, and let's just continue from there. And so it's very interesting in how this is going to go. So for me, if they're going to go the Rian Johnson route, that Reylo, #Reylo, may happen, because it will be too much of expectation to see Rey kill Kylo Ren or do something to him, when the message is to love and not to save, not fight. That's the whole thing. Even Luke doesn't actually fight. He's just dodging. Okay? He doesn't actually have a big fight at the end. And I think that's the message that Rian Johnson wanted to do. While JJ Abrams is total fight. She fights Kylo in Force Awakens, and it's an anger fight. She almost kills him. So which story is it going to continue? Are we going to have the JJ? Are we going to have the Rian Johnson? Now we know directing. JJ's directing it. He's actually pitching a story to Bob Iger about that, and it has to go through Kathleen Kennedy as well. So I don't know. It's very, very interesting, to say the least. And maybe for the first time, we have no idea where the story is going to go. Maybe at the end of the day, when episode 9 comes out and it comes out to something we totally unexpected, but we're pretty happy at where it goes, or at least everyone is happy, it will reach 90-something% audience score, 90-something% critic score, and critics say, see, you just had to wait. You just had to wait, man. But you guys said it was risky, and we like the difference take. So it's very confusing, I know. But where it's gonna go, you know, I really want to see what it is from the future. I don't know if I'm going to be talking any more about The Last Jedi. I have yet to watch it again on the big screen. I have watched it again in other types of ways, and I still don't like the problems that my own disappointments are coming from. If you loved it, great. I am so happy for you. I don't intend to change your mind at all. I don't intend to change your mind at all. The movie, it is what it is. This is the movie comes out. I'm wondering what's going to happen next still yet. Am I excited for it? Not really. I am excited that JJ Abrams is coming back, and I am really super duper curious to see how he is going to either change it or continue on, or what is he thinking right now when he watched that movie? Is this his plan all along, or is there something more? Alright guys, what do you guys think? What do you think episode 9 will be about? How do you think they're going to move forward? How do you think they're going to move forward without Carrie Fisher and Luke is dead? Is his Force Ghost going to be able to spark thunder in the air and destroy things? We'll have that awesome Luke battle when he's a ghost? I don't know. We'll see what happens. Alright guys, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.